Welcome to Coaching and a Cuppa, where we have conversations about coaching with other coaches. My name is Leslie Mizerak with Get Courageous Coaching. We offer leadership, confidence, and retirement coaching. Thank you so much for joining us today. Let's take a listen.
Hello and welcome to the Coaching and a Cuppa Takeover, 10th Anniversary Takeover. We have something to celebrate today, which is why I, Jess Mizerak, a coach at Get Courageous, and also the daughter of Leslie Mizerak, our usual host, who is on the other side now. So Get Courageous, it's 10 years old.
It's crazy.
That's amazing.
It's so hard to believe. Yeah.
Yeah. Great.
Yeah.
So I look forward to interviewing today, but first things first, I have the one and only most important question. What's in your cuppa today?
Well, I am actually in Portugal at the moment, and I travel with my stash English breakfast tea bags. So I made myself a fresh cup of tea.
Surprise, surprise.
Yes.
Cheers.
Cheers.
All right, ready to get into this?
Oh, I'm a little nervous.
Nah, no way. So 10 years of coaching. How did you get into coaching to begin with?
This is a story. I had been in leadership development for 20 plus years before the moment this happened. And at that time, I was working with a departmental CFO who the company I was working for was hoping to move this person into a larger CFO role over the organization. So we were doing succession planning and preparing for the future, which a good organizations should do, right? And we were having conversations, and there were a couple of things they wanted this person to work on. And we'd been working, and great progress had been made. Everybody was super happy, that person included. And at the end of our time work together, she's like, Leslie, this was really great coaching. And I thought to myself, coaching? This was just a development conversation, I thought, right? We've been working throughout this. And I remember walking to my desk and immediately Googling coaching to figure out what coaching was. Because to me, coaching was all woo-woo. It was way too woo-woo for me. That's not my style. And so I realized there's this whole world that I didn't know about. And within probably 3 or 4 hours, I had registered for coaching certification class. And I'd plan my future. And it was probably about a year later that the organization I was working with knew I had fallen in love with coaching. And it may not even been a year. And said, you know what, if you want to go start your own thing, we'll be your first client. And that's how it happened. Someone else dragged me into coaching without them even knowing.
Without even realizing. Yeah, that's amazing. That's how some of the best stories develop anyway, right? Completely off from left field and suddenly you're in a new career.
Yeah. So, and it's been fantastic. I'm so glad I did it. That's all I can say. It's changed my life. Yeah.
Great. Love that.
Yeah. Okay. I agree.
So where do you focus in coaching? What's your focus?
My focus is primarily leadership, and leadership is a really big field, right? There's a lot that goes into leadership, and there's a couple of areas that I really enjoy working in. First of all, that personal leadership, which is why I do a lot of work with Dare to Lead. I'm a big fan of that program. I'm a big fan of the content in the program, the research behind it. And I have seen people's lives change due to it, right? So that's a big one. And then when I think about kind of leadership from a leading others perspective, it's, things like communication skills, relationship building trust, either with yourself and others or teams, that sort of thing. Difficult conversations, and then confidence is a big one. So that's primarily where I spend the bulk of my time. we've also kicked off in this last year retirement coaching, that kind of post-work coaching or post-job coaching. And so that has been really exciting. So a lot of unexpected twists and turns.
So it sounds like that also had quite a bit of a flow, right? You were in leadership through that. Then I know, through your clients and their demand, you've kind of ended up in retirement coaching as well. So would you say that kind of follows that same pattern of just realizing, oh, people are wanting this, people are needing this?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's all been very organic from the leadership work that I did even before coaching. I had a very dear friend who is now a coach, kind of get me into that space. I didn't know much about leadership development or manager development training, any of that. And she really talked me into it and said, I think this is going to be great for you. And it probably took me 15 years before I really got it and realized that that was a space where I was the happiest and making the largest amount of impact. Then kind of the next progression was I heard about the Dare to Lead program. And speaking of confidence, I signed up, or I had the opportunity to sign up to get certified, and it was a very kind of selective process. And I didn't think I was good enough. I didn't think I had what it takes, all of those same things. And it was about 10 o'clock at night, 2 hours before the deadline for signing up to, or applying, not signing up, but applying to be in the program. Had some hoops to jump through. And I thought, you know what? The worst I get is a no. And I remember applying for the program and then jumping through a few hoops after that and got accepted. It's just happened organically. And I find for me, when things are just organic versus contrived or I'm trying to push something, it's so much more effective.
Great takeaway there, though. If you don't try, if you don't make an effort, it's a definite no. So
it's without a doubt. And how many times do I talk about that with my clients? A lot, and I know you do as well.
Yeah, we're human. Coaches are human.
Yeah, amazing.
Quick question. Have you seen or have you felt that coaching has changed over the 10 years that you've been in this industry?
Oh, I do think coaching has changed. First of all, there's a lot more talk about it. I still struggle to this day wondering if people actually understand what it is, because coaching, the word itself, gets bastardized quite a lot and used in ways that it's really not coaching how you and I are trained to use it.
Sure.
And so I am a bit of a purist around coaching. Doesn't mean I don't give advice every now and again, but it's not about telling people what to do. It's about bringing them along and letting them find their path and being a partner with it. So I think awareness is growing. I don't think awareness is fully there, but that's something I want to work on this next year. Is, how do we build that awareness around coaching? So yes, I do think it is changed quite a bit, and I will say this with a bit tongue in cheek. Everybody thinks they're a coach. Everybody's a coach now. After COVID, how many people decided to become coaches? It's not a bad thing. It's just something we're hearing about so much more, because I think there's a need. I think there's an opportunity. And people want to have somebody on their side. And that's truly what a good coach is. They're on their side through growth.
On their side, listening, really, truly listening to you as well.
They're right. That coachee is feeling heard. They're feeling seen. They're not feeling judged.
And hopefully challenged a bit too, no?
And totally challenged, right? Challenged, growing, all of those things. But it is a truly personal experience.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Let me have a sip and I'll ask my next question.
Okay. Well, then I'll have one too. Cheers.
Okay. What would you say the most difficult things are about owning your own business? I know that's not an easy thing for most people.
Yeah. So my style, who I am, and I know I have done a lot of work on understanding who I am this last 10 years, right? And I think coaching has really brought that out for me to be very clear on who I am. I feel like I'm a bit of a walking, talking tornado most of the time. And so some things that are really hard for me are like the administrative piece. I can talk to people and do coaching all day long and feel I might be exhausted at the end of the day, but it's a good exhausted. Whereas like that administrative business operation piece is really hard. I have a difficult time with that because that's not how my brain operates.
Sure.
Yeah. And then the other piece I think that's hard is the loneliness, oddly enough. And people are like, how can you be lonely? You're talking to people all day long. And yes, I'm talking to people all day long, but it's about them and their needs.
Mm-hmm.
And it can feel, you can feel very alone, especially if you're on Zoom with someone all day long, which is why I try and balance in things like the Dare to Lead class and a couple of classes that we offer that I can do in person because it brings about an energy. So it gives me a balance. Primarily, I spend my time in coaching. So that's why I try and do things like, have coffee with friends, go out to dinner with friends, make sure my husband and I get dates,
I was
spend a
going to
month in
say,
Portugal.
for anybody watching who does not know Leslie personally, she is always out coffee, lunch, coffee with this person, lunch with this person. I call him, hey, mom, how you doing? What you doing today? Do. So I'm not worried. I'm not worried.
Yeah. But that's what I need to kind of fill my bucket.
Yeah.
So I make sure I work on filling that. And it can be exhausting at the end of the week.
Sure.
But it's important for me to find that balance because I'm very much a people person and I get energy from people. And Zoom is an amazing tool that I get to work on with my clients all over the place. But there's just not that kind of arm's length connection.
Sure.
It's still a little bit sterile. We still get the work done. People grow. It's all good. But there's still just that little bit of human connection that's missing.
Understood. Well, glad you work on that for yourself, right? That's important.
I have to. Yeah.
Any accomplishments that you're particularly proud of through the years?
I have so many. Primarily, those accomplishments are not my accomplishments. They're the accomplishments of my clients that have started their own businesses, that have grown into positions or careers that they didn't know were available to them. Growing in confidence, male, female, doesn't matter. That imposter syndrome, that imposterism is there. The growth to me is really my proudest accomplishment. And then around the business, my other proudest is someone named Jessica Mizerak that is coaching and is a partner in this with me. And that's what warms my heart. So
that's pretty cool. That was also quite serendipitous. I started taking coaching classes to support you in business development, and then I ended up coaching. So everything has a flow, and happy to be here, obviously. Quite obviously. Cool. Love that though. Your clients' accomplishments. I can really see you glowing when you talk about that.
That's what's important. Yes, it's very cool that we make a living, that we get to do the work we do. But man, at the end of the day, when a client calls and say, hey, Leslie, I just got a job offer. Hey, Leslie, I just got a promotion. Hey, Leslie, I'm thinking about retiring. Can we talk to her? Like being on the journey with them and being trusted to be on that journey with them it's phenomenal. If you're doing this for just to make money, probably the wrong business. But if you're doing this because you have a love for what you're doing, man, it's amazing.
Yeah, what an honor.
Yeah.
Cool.
I agree.
All right. So 10 years coming up here. What's next for you? And what's next for Get Courageous?
Yeah. For me, I would like to start working on my master coaching certification. Something somebody's been encouraging me to do. So maybe the second half of this year, I'll start on that journey. I got to get a few things in the next couple of quarters lined up and accomplish. But I think that master certification could be really interesting, not only for the business, but for my own personal growth. That's that really kind of highest level of coaching capability and helping other coaches, being able to help other coaches really grow their skills could be super cool. Yeah, I think that's why I like coaching in a cuppa, because I get to talk to other coaches and learn about what they're doing and be a support system. So I think personally that's important for me. The next 10 years. And hopefully it doesn't take 10 years to get there. Hopefully it's like 1.5, maybe. We'll see.
We'll be watching and supporting.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Cheerleading along the way. And then I think for Get Courageous, I, really am excited about what Dare to Lead continues to look like. Brene Brown has some new things coming out in the Dare to Lead space. And super excited about that and the work I get to do around the coaching with that through BetterUp, through their coaching platform for some of the enterprise work, and then through our business for those companies that are, under 5,000 people. So it's very exciting that I get to touch that in multiple ways. So excited about that. And then lastly, just seeing where this retirement coaching goes. It started organically. I can't wait to see, what it looks like once we put a little fertilizer on it and how it continues to grow and what comes out of it. Because the conversations I've had, and I think the conversations you've had, have been eye-opening for people.
Yeah.
And so anyway, I think it all remains to be seen, but I feel like the future's bright. I feel like it's a great opportunity. And it'll be fun to talk about this in 10 more years.
Great. Sounds good. Cheers
I'll
to
be
10
ready for
more
the next,
years.
I'll be ready for the next takeover.
Perfect. Great. So thank you so much for being willing to be on the other side of the Zoom call today. And congratulations on 10 years of coaching.
Thanks. And thanks for going on the journey with me.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for joining us today for Coaching in a Cuppa. We hope you enjoyed this conversation. You can listen to other coaching conversations at getcourageous.com/coaching.